Hello, crafty friends. It's been a long time, and I thought it was time to do a little update. So grab something to drink or a snack to eat. This is probably going to be a long one since I haven't seen you in almost a year, I think 8 or 9 months. So let's just jump right into it. I haven't been doing videos because I was working. I had 2 knee replacements. My husband had surgery. I have grandbabies. Nothing bad, all good, just not filming other stuff I was making. So I am back. I'm going to show you some stuff that I've made, some tips and tricks, talk about some great people that I have found in the last year to follow some of their projects. So let's just get into it. Okay, first of all, I don't know if any of you knew that there is vinyl sticker paper for inkjet printers. Now, I was unaware of this. I'm not saying that I'm the only one who is unaware of it, but so I thought I'd put it out there for everybody. Okay, so this is wonderful when you want to print out things you want to fussy cut, because you don't have to fussy cut everything because it's clear. So let me show you for an example, okay? I did these flowers, which was a free printable from somewhere. I go on to coffee and people have stuff, and so when you go to cut this around here, you just cut on the blue line, and even though it's not fussy cut all the way like a sticker would that you buy professionally or from Hobby Lobby and stuff, you don't see anything. So I tried it out with these, which were another free one. I'll just grab one. So I just did rough cuts around these women and men, okay? Just like that. Now, if I take the white piece off, this is always a challenge, is to get it apart. Okay, there we go. Now you have this, and I'm putting it on my hand, because I don't want to put it on a piece of paper. You can't see anything but the image. You do not see the clear all the way around, and they are so fun to play with. I'm just going to tell you, they're amazing, and I couldn't tell you the price because I bought it a while back. So, and you know how Amazon fluctuates everything. So if I told you something, it might be something else, right? Okay, that's the first thing. Take that away, okay? And I have a nice little pile over here. Second thing that I wanted to tell you or show you, I've done these for years with bottle caps and with cabochons, right? And I had gone to the thrift store and I had gotten these, I'm going to say, for lack of a better word, they look like belt buckles for crafting, okay? So nothing new. You just put your image on it, right? There was no hook or anything that I could put on it, so I put on a bail, a plastic bail, right? Use some Timmy. This was book paper with a sticker over it. Now, in the past, I have always used glossy accent. My problem with glossy accents, though, is that there's almost always a bubble, right? Somewhere on it, there's a bubble. So, a while ago, for God knows whatever reason, I had bought this kit. I don't remember what I bought it for. It's UV resin, and it wasn't, it was dirt cheap. And it came with 2 things. It came with the UV resin, right? And it came with the light. And the light, actually, this is so cool. You charge it on the end, so you don't have to worry about losing your charger or where did it go. You turn it on, right? And you just dry it like that, and it's like 60 seconds total. And then you just go like this, and it's off. So that was something that I found was just a wonderful alternative to glossy accents, okay? So then I took it one step further. I have a lot of junk jewelry and a lot of pieces that I think I'm going to turn into a charm, a dangle, something. Well, I thought that this would be fun. So I took old pieces of just these 2 I had just practiced with. These were frames, like a little frame, and this was just the traditional cabochon, right? But these are the ones I wanted to show you. Okay, so this was an old dangle earring, but all I had was the outside. I didn't have the dangle piece, like the ear wire, nothing. But I did a Timmy little bird and flower, and then I put the resin in it, and it is so fun. Oh, and I'm not sure, because this one's kind of cute. I might lay this one flat. Then I had this one, And I don't even know what this was used for. I mean, I don't know if it's a huge jump ring. It's brass and it was cute. And I just did another one of the really cute stickers I had. But you can see I have one bubble there that I missed. These were kind of the beginning ones. And then I did this one, you guys. You can't probably, I don't know if you can see it, but it is a flower, a rose and stuff. And it's supposed to look vintagey, so it kind of looks a little bit dirty, which is what I wanted. But I had no idea what I was going to use this for. And I don't know, this just kind of came in some junk bag or something. But anyway, the UV resin works wonderfully, not very expensive, and you don't have to wait for it to dry. So if you want to make one of these for a project and use it instantly, it's literally cutting to finishing is less than 5 minutes, okay? All right, then I did something that I don't usually do. I challenged myself to use stuff on my desk. I usually pull out all my stuff and I usually audition it and play around with it. I thought, I'm going to try this. Well, it is extremely freeing to put your stuff together with only what's on your desk. So this was something that I just made like a little envelope. This was cut out that I had on my desk that someone from another freebie. And I had I had a container of my Timmy stuff. I had some cutouts that I had printed out. And this was something, I think this was from Tanya or from BB Art, a free printable. And so I just took everything I had and just put it together and made this. And it was so much fun. So if you haven't tried just doing, like, challenging yourself to use what's on your desk, try it. This was the other one that I did. And this was a lot of fun because this was just one printed sheet of paper. And I tore it in half. And then I glued it all together. And then I folded it. So I'm not going to go into all the stuff that I did with it. But then this image was from Art House Whimsy, okay? And this is Amity Bloom, some of her tape and stuff. But this, too, was all stuff that was on my desk because I had so much fun. I don't know if you guys have ever printed on onion skin paper, but this is printed on onion skin paper. And it is almost like Tim Holtz tissue paper. And so when you put it on, it's, I don't know, it's very light. It's really pretty. I did the little roll thing. I had rust dyed some cheesecloth, and I had that laying around. So this was really fun. This was fun, too. If you have onion skin paper, you guys try it. It works like a charm. Okay, on to the next thing. Don't get bored. Take a bite of your snack or a drink or something, okay? The other thing that I did when we were talking about onion skin paper was I have a subscription to Graphic Fairy, and someone had done a tutorial on there on how you could do printed glassine bags. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try this. Let's see how this works. Well, it was wonderful. I, again, used, I don't know if I used, nope, this one I used tracing paper. Okay, so you print it out. And I got, I think, 2 bags per sheet, but you print the whole thing out and then you cut it. Obviously, you glue it. You know how to make the little, all the fun stuff to make a bag, right? We all know how to do that. And then I just took some printed out numbers and some tape. And this is so fun because really, when you go into it and everything, it really does feel like a glassine bag. And it's just yummy, and it was so easy. And I had seen people who had made these, but I couldn't figure out how they got the paper or for the bag to be all printed on. So when I saw this tutorial, I was like, I've been looking for that. So that was fun. That's another thing to try. I also made something fun from Inked Edges Journaling, and she did a whale tail punch hidden paper clip. These were so fun. So if you have Tim Holtz little teeny tiny embellishments and you don't know what to do with them, this is perfect. So obviously this slides on. Here, let me see. Let's see here. Let me show you. This is a paper clip. And of course, it's not going to work because I'm on camera, but no, well, you know what I mean. You know how paper clip there. Okay, there it goes. So how cute. Don't look at the green paper. Look at this paper. Look at how cute that is. Isn't that cute? And you could do both sides, right? if you wanted to, but I think it would be really hard to match it up. But those were so fun. And like I said, that was from Inked Edges Journaling. Okay, so I did those. See how cute those are? Those just so cute. Okay, all right, move that along. Now, if you guys have not gone to, looked at, subscribed, or watched some of the videos, the Celtic Crafter is hugely talented. She is wonderful, and she used to just sell her stuff, and then Gail Oscanelli, I never say her name right, she always would showcase her stuff. Well, she finally got convinced to do a YouTube channel. The stuff that she does is so cute. So she had these little teeny tiny embellishments, and she was just calling it Mini Timmy Ephemera. So they're so cute. So you take a piece of Timmy's paper and you literally fold it into thirds, right? Or score it, whatever. Again, using the tiny or the mini ephemera by Tim Holtz. It's a great thing. And you just do little clusters and stuff. And then when you want, you can put it on something, glue it down, and it's on this side and on that side. Aren't they cute? My sister-in-law and I, Patty, we ended up spending a day just making ephemera, and this was one of the ones, and they're so cute. Okay, the only thing you have to remember is which side, you have to leave one side blank so you can glue it down. Now, if you're not going to glue it down, you're just going to paper clip it, because I put like a paper clip on this one. So if you want to put a paper clip on it or a clothespin or something, then you don't have to. And then I also did one of Timmy's little things. But again, a nice, fun little treat. Okay, so let's get into some books. I have been making books, but I also, oh, one other thing before I do the books. I kind of got on the bead train. Well, you guys know, I do charms, and I try to do a charm on all my junk journals. Sometimes I can't, but I try to have trinkets in bottles. Well, I had seen this, I'm gonna say in February, before they got really hot, the chunky alphabet beads. So I made one because I'm in a reading room with 6 other reading teachers, and rarely do they have anything that is with their first name. It's always Mrs. Jones. It's never Susan. So I made everybody one of these, and I made this one for a friend of mine who I just thought she'd like this. She kind of likes arts and crafts thing. So I had gotten, oh, it's not there, Michelle. Okay. I had gotten these beads when you could still get them at Hobby Lobby, when you could still order them online from the warehouse. And I bought 2 boxes, and then I went on Temu and bought some more, and I went on Amazon. And I did not pay the outrageous prices. I'm telling you, they're nuts for what they want on Amazon for these. But I ended up getting a sale, or it was on sale or something. And then I got just vowels. I got a package with just A-E-I-O-U, which was great. And then I had been kind of collecting beads like I always do. And so I put that together, and I have to tell you, my kids and I did Girl Scouts and Sunday school. I did all of that stuff, and I have a 32, 34, and 36-year-old. To see the pony beads come back, I was absolutely thrilled. It is so relaxing to do these. So I did these, except I did the pencil. I'm going to do the glue bottle and the crayon for them to add on next year to their keychain. But if you get a chance to make these, there's tutorials everywhere. And this is so fun, and it's literally instant gratification. It is fast and fun, and it's great to put on your craft bag, or if you're going to retreats, you can put it on your rolly cart. They are so much fun, and the sky's the limit for ideas, you guys. Just make sure that you get, if you're going to use the paracord, make sure that you get the 3 to 4 millimeter holes. Otherwise, you'll find that you can't get your beads up on the paracord. Okay, so there. Now we're going to get into books. Okay, and I'm going to just whip through the books, but hopefully you guys have found Anna's Arts and Crafts. She is amazing. She reminds me of the female version of Tim Holtz. She does everything to the nth degree. If you are vintage or grungy, she's your gal. Well, these are vintage file folder books. And I went on a retreat for a week this past winter, and I wanted to do something totally different. And so I thought, I'm going to do a mini book. Well, you guys, these were so much fun. So let me just get into it. I tried to almost copy hers. You have to be aware, though, for her videos, she doesn't do any talking. So you have to watch, and a lot of it you probably have to watch and then stop it. But she's very good at demonstrating what she's doing, okay? So she also has a way of putting these together, which is really, really smart and easy and fun. So almost everything in this book is Timmy, and I sewed a bunch of stuff, okay? Well, you actually sew this together. But these are file folders that you use to put together to make this. So here's the first page. And she is all about this, making clusters. And I really feel like by doing this project, I learned how to do clusters because every page had clusters. There's nothing in here because I thought, oh my gosh, this book is just packed. Okay, so there's this one. Okay. And then, see, there's stuff. You think it's going to come out. Well, this one does come out, right? And so then there's that. And there's the girls. And then this one. Right. Another one. I don't think I put anything in this one, guys. Well, whatever. I'm not going to show you. Even if I did, just because I don't want to be here till tomorrow showing you, because you know I talk. Oh, Lord, do I talk. Okay. Here's my little house in Arizona. Here are my girls from like the 1940s. Cute. Here are the gentlemen, right? Here's the train that they're on a trip. Here's the happily married couple. Here's the boys out for a bike ride. And here's the old homestead that they left, that they moved from. Okay? So cute. So that one was so much fun. And I thought to myself, well, you don't need two of those, Laura, as much as you'd like two. What are you going to do with two of them, right? So I said, nope, I'm going to try it the other way. So then I did a vertical one, okay? And pretty much the same concept, right? Except that this one is done, like I said, vertically instead of horizontally. So it's still the same yumminess, all collaged, all Timmy, right? And tags. Oh, she had such good ideas, you guys. Oh, if you haven't gone over to watch this, you have to watch it. It is called the Vintage File Folder Book. And I just, every time I look at it and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did it. Because what I did was I put the book together, right? And then I went page after page after page. So I don't usually do it that way. I kind of, when I do my junk journals, I jump all over the place. But this one and the other one were the first ones that I started at the beginning and I just worked my way through the book, right? So that was a different technique too. So I did, even though I haven't been around, I have been learning some new things that I wanted to share. And I don't know if any of it's new, but it's always nice to hear it again. So cute. And look at him with his little thing. There you go. And I love this idea. I had never done this. So she had shown how she took a picture and she cut it in half and she put one half on this side and one half on this side. And I just loved it, especially with this schoolhouse picture of Tim's, and that you could see the kids. And then I did all stuff that had to do with school, you know, kindergarten, arithmetic, you know, it was half of the year, typewriter, labels, pens, almanac, the rings, right? So I tried to make it very relevant to what was on the page, which I really appreciate because she does that too. Sometimes when you make clusters, you're just throwing anything on to make a cluster, which is fine. That works too. But with these little books, it meant more to do stuff that actually went with what was on the page. Okay, then I know everyone knows who Natasha is from Treasure Books. I decided to try one of her books. And this was not supposed to be this thick. It is supposed to be, let me take the stuff out of this one, hang on. Okay, it's supposed to be like this, okay? So this is how it's supposed to be. This is how it turned out, okay? And this was another fun thing, and I don't know if anyone's ever done this. I just chose to do this. So this is a great story. This is about Sweet Pea Treasures. Just let me veer off for a second. Somebody had written a very, very nasty comment about her hands when she was doing a video, or she was a reel or something. Oops, sorry. And she had taken that awful comment and turned it into money. I love it. So she did a whole book on hands, and I fell in love with it as a crafter and stuff. So it was really, really great. So if you get a chance to go over to Sweet Peas, look at this digital kit and its hands. And then what I did was, because it's mostly women, I didn't know what I was going to do with this. I just had the cover to Little Women. It was an old one. So I ended up covering the back and putting a clip on it, and I'm using it as a writing board inside my book. Right? Cool? Right. What a good way to use the cover of a book that you don't know what you can do with it. I love that. So anyway, back to Natasha. So she did these books, and she had the coolest way to bind them. Again, I won't bore you with that. You'll go look for yourself. But I just wanted to show you because I ended up using Masonite board. And I don't know if any of you know, this is like a little thicker than I want, but this is Masonite board. And I had my husband cut a bunch of it because he had it. This one's a little thick. I usually use something that's a little bit thinner. But this is really fun, and it makes for an extremely sturdy book. So I ended up doing, I'm just going to move this up a little bit. Hang on, so you can see more of it. All right, I'll move that. Here, let's see. Will you be able to see it there? Okay, that's good. Let me just move it up. Sorry, don't get sick. Okay, so here's the book. And so she had this great way of doing this binding. But I have to tell you a funny story because this cover is twice as thick as it should be because my husband was looking for something, and he went into my little craft area, and I said, well, wait, I'll find it for you. I know what you're talking about. Well, he found some of my Wink of Stella, and he opened one, and the green glitter flew everywhere. Well, it ruined this cover. I mean, literally, there were globs of green, and as the night went on, it just kind of kept spreading. So I decided, since the book was done, it was literally done, short of this, I thought, okay, I got to do something. So I had one more piece of fabric like this that was literally the same one. I glued it onto I just did fabric with some batting in it because I was like, it can't be this thick, although it is really thick. And then I put it back in place. So I salvaged it. I was very proud of myself, and I was not even upset. So let's just get into it. It's just a fun book. So there's a little pocket, right? And just some fun avocado dyed paper. You know, my usual. You know how I like to roll. There we go. Some washi. Some cute stuff here. Little stuff here. Plenty of room in this one to write, which was kind of what I was going for. Okay, there's that. There's that. Some coffee dyed paper. There's that. Now there. There. Okay. That. This one. More ribbons. This one was so sweet to make. And I mean when I mean sweet to make is I just decided I was just going to make a book. I didn't really have any plan for a theme. I loved the front that it was friends, but I wanted a book that if I give it to somebody, which I almost always do, then people had stuff that they could write in. You could actually write in this book. A lot of times for my junk journals, afterwards I'm like, they are not going to be able to write in this one. This one can't, I mean, you can't write in this one. This one I thought was such a cute idea too. Right? And I had been watching a lot of videos when I was recovering from my knee replacement, because when I got my knee replacement, I also got a blood clot. Yes, that was kind of scary. And then I had that in August. And then in February, I decided to have my other knee done. And during that surgery, when I was trying to recover, I ended up with vertigo. So, needless to say, I was doing a lot of crocheting and a lot of video watching. And with that came some really good ideas, right? There's some little girls in there. Those are actually old cigarette cards, okay? Super cute, right? Okay. This one I love too. So this one opens like this and like that. And then you have little things in there. I just love that one. Okay, and you can take it off because it's a paper clip, okay? There's that. And this. Okay. And there. So see, it's just fun. Just a fun one. Because if you're not having fun, why are you crafting? Right? The crafting police are not coming out. I love making these too, you guys. I know these are nothing new, but they're so much fun. And my son happens to work in the paint department of a store, so I can get as many chips as I want. So I try to use those. So cute. Just a tag. And then this. And this opens up like this. Okay, so this is the thing I wanted to show you. Okay. When I was talking about Celtic Crafter, this is something that she makes and sells, okay? But this is amazing because I looked at it and thought, I'm going to make one. I'll see if I can make one. I have everything Tim holds and more. As some of you know, I love Timmy. I've loved Timmy since he was on Carol Duvall. And I thought, I'm going to try this. I'm going to see what I can do. Well, I came up with it, and it is so stinking cute. And in books, it is darling. So this is where that cute little pullout comes from. Except that this one isn't double-sided, right? So cute. And then this slide also comes off. And so you put that on, right? We're not backwards here. Okay. Only because I'm getting old and I'll forget how to put it back together. But isn't that just, what a great way to end a book. And I think you could have put a pocket there. I didn't because I felt like I had enough stuff in this book. And then here's the back. So that's that book. Then I have just one other one I want to show you that was fun to make. And then if you stayed to the end of the video, I have a little surprise for you guys. Okay. Okay, here, let me just fold it up. Bear with me. There. Okay, so also at my retreat, I probably had this in my stash for the last 5 years. I don't know where I got the pattern for it, but all I had were the guts. I just had the guts for this fold-out thing. And so I thought, I'm going to finish it. And I remember I made it because I want to say it's Kathy's Garden, where she showed you how to do your binding with brads. And then I just never went back to it. I loved it, made the book, but never went back to embellish it. So I decided, yep, we're going to finish it. This was on the... I'm taking it with me. Let's see if I can finish it. And it turns out so cute. Look at this. I had so much fun with this one too. Notice the little theme here? Everything's about fun. So this, I don't even know where that came from. Okay, so I did a little journal inside of the folio, right? And I kept it super simple so you could write on here and just kind of do stuff on here, right? And then this actually comes down like that, right? And then here's some buttons. And this was such a cute idea. This was another really cute idea where someone had taken Timmy's people and put it over a playing card. This was the playing card, was this scene. And then I just put them there. It was so cute. And then I just did that on the back because I thought that was fun. Vintage buttons. Who doesn't love a vintage button? Then we have this, and the tag comes down this way. And then we have this. And so it's both sides because it goes over the top of the page. And then you put little tags in it. And another paint chip. One of Timmy. I think I printed that out. I don't think that was Timmy. That was somebody else. And then this folds down like this. And I thought that was really cute. I used an old airmail, like an old vintage envelope. Put that in there. Okay, and then I did this up here with an old bingo card. And I can't remember where this is supposed to go. This is just something I think I put in as an extra, maybe. Okay, and then there's this. Oh, I know. It's supposed to go like that. Okay, there we go. And then this, and this was from an old book. And it is, I believe, German, but I'm not positive. Okay, and then I put this in there, and it folds out like this, and like this. Little tea bag, like this, and this. Fold it over. This was so cute, too. This was fun to make, too. So there's a tag in here, right? So it's a church. It's from it's actually an old original photograph. And you can see the church through the window, and there's the girls who go to the church. Then I just did this little thing in the back, and then I did another letter to Miss Margie Prater from Kansas City, Colorado, and the letter's actually in there. Okay, so if you have reached the end of this video and you have hung out this long, I'm so happy because for Christmas in July, I'm going to do a giveaway, okay? One of the giveaways is going to be this album, okay? And I have a little mini Christmas album of Timmy that I thought might be fun to give away too. And that's this one. Okay, and it is just a mini book. It is based on Shabby Soul and one of her things. I was supposed to teach a class for these, so I had 2 prototypes, and I thought this would be a great thing for Christmas in July. So it's just a very sweet little Timmy book, very little, right? Oh. Sometimes you have to use glue because the sticky stuff does not stick. There's a little tag in here. And here's another little, like a cute little winter flower. Here's this, and you open that up. Vintage lace with a rusted pin. Here's some more. And then this slides, and there's a tag in there, like that, and like that. And then this one opens. And there we go, like this. And then you have a little postcardy thing in there. And this is one I actually gave someone, and she told me she puts it down with her Christmas, what do I want to say? Oh, look at that. That's coming off too. Some of that glue and the humidity, you guys. Anyway, she ended, just talking to myself here. She ended up putting it, she has like her husband does trains or something, or I don't know, something in like a little village scene or something. And she thought it would just be fun to have a cute little book, or maybe it's a mini tree, something. I'm sorry, I can't remember. But I thought this would be something you probably wouldn't write in. You could, but it's just cute to keep it. Maybe you have just like a few little pictures, right? And there's that, Timmy's little stuff. And then I have a little letter to Santa, right? And then like this, and more of his stuff. And that's that. So, you've made it to the end, and this and this are going to be my giveaways. So, what do you need to do? You just need to be over 18 in the United States. I'm sorry, shipping is absolutely insane, so I can only do the United States. Second thing, I need you to be a visible subscriber, and I need you to answer one question. Do you craft in July for Christmas? Or do you do something else? Do you craft for Halloween? Do you craft for Easter? Tell me what you craft in July, okay? Simple Simon, right? So, thank you for hanging out. I know this was a long video, but I wanted to let you know all the stuff that I had been up to. The last thing, I guess. Excuse me. Last thing is it will close on July 10th, and I will draw online, or, on my channel, and I will draw for 2 people, and then you'll have like 3 days to get back to me, and then I'll pop it in the mail. How about that? Sound good? All right, people. Thank you so much for stopping by, and for those of you who are new, thank you. It's been a while, and those of you who hung with me, thank you for hanging. I know. It's kind of like I come and go, right? This whole video thing is just kind of not my jam, but it is fun. Whatever. I like to share. All right, people. Have a great 4th of July, and I will talk to you sooner than later. Bye.